Okay, so now we're going to start with the Android tablet. So we're talking about Topcon and Trimble. We're going to start with the construction site sandbox as the exercise. That's the one I'd suggest you use for your demos. You must run the Tenstar simulator fully, including turning the engine on, before you go to your tablet to run Topcon or Trimble. So we'll start exercise sandbox. And here you'll see you get a choice now of which machine control provider you want to work with. So we're actually going to start with Trimble. So we'll pick Trimble from the list, there it is, and start exercise. This part you'll be familiar with. It'll go through where we're going to start on the site, what buckets we're going to use, daylight conditions. It's important to remember what bucket you select as well, because you need to tell the machine control system the corresponding bucket on there as well. But you mustn't run the machine control application until the Tenstar simulator is fully up and running and live. So I would suggest for the demo routine you go to area D. The reason I say that is when you look at the big screen here, in area D, you've got a huge piling mat or a basement excavation. It's about 300mm dig. It's a nice big easy area for people to practice on. So we'll pick area D on the touchscreen. Doesn't matter which bucket we pick, but remember you need to tell the machine control system that's what we're doing. So digging bucket, let's work during the day. We'll start the engine and we'll take up the variable throttle. So now we can run the machine control system. So we'll start with Trimble. There is a password, and again it's in Confluence, so the username is admin. The password is Earthworks with a capital E and a capital W, #1, and then return. Log in. Oh, that's me getting the password wrong. Try that again. That'll happen all the time. Okay. Capital E, RTH, capital W for works. Works is in plural. #1. So if it doesn't communicate at this point, you've got something wrong in the Confluence guide with the communications, either on the Android or actually on the simulator. But again, follow the Confluence guide and it'll tell you how to set those up. This is a situation you want to see. You may be presented with job setup is red, essentially not allowing you to start. So you'd go to the job setup, you'd pick Tenstar excavator. There's a design, which is this one here. So you have to have it set up like that for it to work. Apply and start. So now we're into the actual Trimble GPS system. It's a relatively straightforward system to operate in terms of what it's presenting to the user. So you have a cross-section view, a longitudinal view, and a plan view. And you can zoom around and look at the dig areas. So there's that big red area out ahead of us. This is the most important part. It's telling us that we've got 1/2 meter of cut to do before we achieve the design grade. But also we must select the right bucket. So we've got digging bucket on physically. So we'll actually go to attachments. You see we've got dig edge, which is the wrong bucket, which would have wrong dimensions, so we would be digging to the wrong levels. So we go dig teeth, this one here. Now that'll be correct and we select it. Okay, so now you see the levels have changed by 100mm. So as I lower the cutting edge, you'll see the light bar come down. That's me over digging by nearly 400mm. I lift back up again. And what the drivers want to achieve is something like this across the whole pass of the bucket, which is not easy to do. So that's very simply how the system actually works. There's a few other things you can do. Maybe to test the bucket, you can place the cutting edge on the inspection chamber here. When you balance down on there, you'll see 2.5 meters of cut. If you change the bucket into a different orientation, place it on the lid again, you're getting the same cut fill values. If we had the wrong bucket, those values wouldn't correspond. So it's a good check to do there. So now we're just going to track over to the dig area. What I would do on the touch screen at this point is I would switch on the coloured grid that you see in front of you. Now that coloured grid, the red and the green, will correspond to the red and the green on the touch screen. So you'll notice that I touched the edge, which is already to finished grade. That's what green means. You'll see here that it actually does tie in as you'd expect. If I slew across into the dig area, I now get the 1/2 meter dig to get down to the design elevation, and you can also see it in the map. So your demonstration simply needs to be straightforward and as simple as that. You don't need to make it any more complicated. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to run the TopCon system, but just to shut down, swipe up from the bottom, close this application, and obviously switch off the simulator.